Hi, I'm Ed Knights, president of Theater 3, and I'm bringing you a special edition of Welcome to the Theater. Today I'll be interviewing some of the band members of MixnMatch who are going to be doing a fundraiser for us. The show is going to be performed on Saturday, March 9th at 8 p.m. at Theater 3. Tickets will be available at the door and also online. Our website is theater3.org, which is theatreii.org. And three of the musicians here today, and you'll be seeing and hearing six of them when you come to the performance. The reason you're seeing some props from Charlie Brown is because this is a prelude to our next theatrical performance, which will be You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown. And so you're seeing the baseball bat, you're seeing the kite that Charlie Brown miserably fails at trying to fly, and you're seeing the pencils that the kids have when they're writing a book report about Peter Rabbit. So I'd like to start now by introducing Wendy Linden. Welcome to Theater 3's Welcome to the Theater.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Glad to. Thank you so much for doing this fundraiser for us. We really appreciate it. Tell us about your group.
Well, we're called MixnMatch. There are six of us. We have two vocalists, a drummer, a keyboard player, and a guy who plays guitar and saxophone.
Wow. At the same time? Okay.
It actually can be challenging to figure out our set list sometimes to make sure that he's not switching around too much between songs. But it's pretty remarkable. And he's not the only band member who plays multiple instruments. Several of us sing, and yeah, many people play guitar, and there's someone who plays banjo and mandolin. So these folks are very talented. I'm lucky to be in their company.
Well, how did you all meet up? How did this happen? How did it come to be a group?
Well, I was singing with another band, and that ended up disbanding, no pun intended.
Okay.
And our current drummer, Mike Sue, who you'll be meeting, was great and came to a lot of our gigs. And he was joking with me that if the other band ended, that we should do something. And I know him because he's very good friends with my son, Matthew. And I've watched Mike play the drums and every other instrument imaginable for years. And I thought, wow, what an honor to play with him. He's a phenomenal musician, but I thought he was kidding. I said, Mike, I could be your mother. And he said, I don't care. I think we should try this. So we got together, and he said, I know people. Like, we'll just find people, and we'll find equipment. It'll happen. And suddenly, you know, we started rehearsing in the basement, and other musicians appeared, and equipment appeared, and microphones, and mixers, and a band was born.
Wow. Tell us about how you first got involved with singing, and I guess you've been involved with the theater also, am I right?
Yes,
Yeah.
well, I love Theater 3. I live right
Yes.
up the street. And my husband John and I have done many shows at the
Yes.
theater. It's a special place to us, so we're thrilled to do this fundraiser for you guys. Music has always been in my home and in my family. My mom is a wonderful pianist, and I grew up listening to her playing the piano every night of my life, and she has a phenomenal ear. I would just sing something to her and she could play it.
Wow.
And my father used to do theater, so I grew up in a house with you know, jazz and rock and classical music, and always going to musical theater, so it was you know, part of me. And so I did plays since I was a little girl, and musicals and choruses. And when I went to college, I sang a cappella, and that was my passion. And as a grown-up, for my extracurriculars, I sang with two different a cappella groups here in town. And then on my bucket list has always been to be in a rock band. I say it's my midlife crisis. So I'm doing it. And it's
a dream
so
come
much
true.
fun. It is. It's a dream come true.
What
Yeah.
was the very first show you did as a kid?
I think I did a production of Hansel and Gretel, but it was a musical
Yes,
version at
sure.
camp.
Do you remember what you played?
I was Gretel,
Ah, okay.
my first big role at camp, but I got the bug early.
I
and
remember playing a tree one time when I was like Gretel at some point when I was a kid.
But I say, you know, music is like a drug for me. If I'm not singing, I don't feel right. It's really just a huge part of who I am.
So when people want to hear you, in addition to coming to our fundraiser, where can they hear your group?
Well, we have a website, MixnMatchBand.com, and we've been just starting out performing around the area. So we played at Main Street Cafe in Concord, at British Beer Company in Westford. We were at Twin Seafood right here in West Acton. And we're trying to get ourselves into some other venues, including looking at some places in Somerville, closer into Boston.
So people who want to hear you after the fundraiser can go to your website and see where you're going to be performing.
Absolutely.
Great.
Exactly.
Well, I really appreciate your coming to be interviewed today.
Sure.
And I look forward to interviewing other members of your band.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you. Now I would like to welcome Mike Sue to Welcome to the Theater.
Thank you.
All of Theater 3 appreciates your contributing to this fundraiser.
Happy to do it.
And we're looking forward to hearing you. We've just been hearing from Wendy about your multiple talents and how she was so excited to be able to play with you and to have you in a group with her. So
Very
tell
kind
us,
of her.
tell us how what first got you involved with music, and in what way were you getting involved as a
Well, I
kid?
started out very young. I think I was 4 years old. I took piano lessons. My mom would carry me in on her hip and drop me down on the piano bench, and I'd start plunking out notes. From there, I sort of branched out. When I got to elementary school, I was playing clarinet in the band, in the concert band. I ended up playing drums at the same time, so that's how that started. I just wanted to do it. It seemed like it was fun, so I started. And then middle school, I started playing French horn because the legend Mark Hickey asked me to. So I started playing that, and then I kind of stuck with French horn and drum set from there until college. I started studying music education over at UMass Amherst. Music has just always been part of my life, and I've loved sharing it with other people in multiple contexts like this. I'm now a band director over at Westford Academy.
Oh, wow.
And I just keep up with the music in any way I can. So I do it as a job, and I do it for fun as well. It's good.
Does the band directing at Westford Academy involve a marching band?
It does.
Wow.
It does.
And do you also have to choreograph the marching
Oh,
band?
yeah.
Whoa.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
It's a fun time.
Yeah, that's amazing. So, as I understand it, with a marching band, you learn all the music first, and then you just do a lot of marching without playing anything and getting all the steps down right, and then you start to combine those
Yeah,
things.
that's exactly right. Yep. Start one thing at a time, and then you just kind of smush it all together, and somehow it ends up working every time. So
Wow. What do you do about weather in a marching band?
we hope for the best.
Okay. So you sometimes have to play in.
Oh yeah, we've played in the snow, we've played in downpours. We just cover ourselves as best we can, play as much as we can, and if we have to call it, we call it.
Wow.
You know.
But mix and match, you don't usually have to play in the snow.
Oh, thankfully, yeah.
You might have to get your way through the snow.
Yeah,
to
exactly.
Get to your
You know,
performance.
carry a few drums, carry some other equipment here and there, but otherwise we're indoors, which is nice.
Yes. Are you in any other groups at the same time as with Mix and Match?
Nope, this is the only one other than my day job.
And your day job is at Westford
Yes.
Academy. Got it. Are you studying also? Is there any? Are you pretty much
On my own. I'm not studying with any teachers right now, but I've been dabbling here and there, making sure that I keep my chops up.
And which instruments do you continue to dabble in? All of the ones? The
French horn, drum set primarily, a little bit of piano here and there when I need to. But I've recently been picking up trombone a little bit, just figuring out how it works because it's so fundamentally different from the other brass instruments. So,
Well, I really appreciate your being here,
Thank you.
and I look forward to the fundraiser.
thank you.
Thank you very much. And now I'd like to welcome Ben Vander Aa, who is also in Mix and Match, and plays the guitar and the saxophone. Welcome to the theater, and thanks for doing this fundraiser for us.
Thanks for having me. It's really exciting for me to be able to give back to Theater 3. They're a great group in town.
Thank you. Tell us how you first got started in music.
Sure. I started playing guitar when I was in 2nd grade, but really way before then because my dad always had one around. So there's actually a picture of me as a wee little baby holding the guitar, and it's, I mean, just the body of the guitar is bigger than my entire body.
Okay. And then did you study as you began to grow up?
Yeah, I did. I started playing saxophone in elementary school in 5th grade, and then I had an opportunity to study saxophone or take lessons in college with a couple wonderful musicians. And I was actually fortunate to go out to school in upstate New York in Binghamton, and there's a huge jazz heritage out there. So
really?
yeah, it was a cool thing to be able to play with a lot of really talented and professional jazz musicians.
Fantastic. So are you still studying now at the same time that you're performing, or you pretty much figured you're done with the studying, time to give back?
Well, it's always some of both. So there's always new things to learn. So I'm not studying with anybody right now, but I'm practicing every day and trying to learn something new as much as I can.
Do you have you been in other groups before this one?
Yeah, I had a rock band at college. I've been in a couple bands that didn't really do much in junior high and high school. But I think the most fun that I've had in an ensemble is the big band that I got to play in college. It was an absolute blast.
Did they make recordings?
Yeah, but you know how you're not really supposed to.
I got that.
Release
It's the
them and all that
college
kind of
recordings. Okay,
Yeah.
I got it.
More recordings for ourselves than anybody else.
Good. And so someday your kids will be able to listen to your big band sound.
Yeah.
It's very cool.
Yeah.
And in the group that you're in now, how long has it been in existence?
About 4 months. So we've been playing a lot of like funk and soul and pop music. It's a lot of fun. These musicians I've known for, since junior high. I've been playing with some of them.
Wow.
So it's
That's
a lot of
really
fun.
cool. So
Yeah.
it's kind of come around to a circle, and all of a sudden you've matched up and are performing.
Yeah, we've mixed and matched up.
Mixed and matched. Got it. So do you play a role in choosing what songs are going to be done?
Yeah, we all do. We actually have band meetings where Wendy makes us guacamole and we all sit around and pick songs out. It's a lot of fun.
Great. And how long is a usual set for you folks?
So most of the gigs that we've been playing of late have been about 3 hours long, which is a pretty long gig. So we do usually 2 sets, about an hour and an hour 15 each.
And then take a break
Yeah.
in between. Good. Well,
Catch
Theater
up
3 is used to that because, of course, we have plays and they always have an intermission. And so there's a place for you guys to hang out while you recover your strength and your musicality, and then you're back up there again.
Yeah.
Do you have any plans for the future in terms of trying to do more stuff in other areas of the state, or do you plan to stay here?
Yeah, we've actually got a gig on April 11th, I believe, at Main Streets over in Concord, which I'm very excited about. That's a cool venue and a cool place, great food.
Yeah.
And then we're going to be taking some time over the summer to sort of explore our future and hopefully appeal to a little bit of a wider area and kind of make a go for it.
Good.
Yeah.
Do you see people in your audience where you've played before who are clearly coming to hear you? Because now you've been out for several months, so I would think the word would get around and people say, "Oh, look."
Yeah, we have a lovely base of support from all of our friends and family who come out to see our shows pretty often.
That's key.
It is. It really is.
That for those of us that are doing mostly the theatrical side of it, but thank goodness for friends and family, who are your loyal supporters regardless. So
yeah,
that sounds great. Well, I really appreciate your coming down for the interview today for our audience, and look forward to hearing you at our fundraiser.
Yeah, thanks for having us, Ed.
You're welcome. So this has been Ed Knight, president of Theater 3, interviewing some of the members of MixnMatch, doing a fundraiser for Theater 3. coming on Saturday, March 9th at 8 p.m. Tickets are available online at theater, theatreii.org, or at the door. And it is a prelude to our next show, which will be You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown. It's the first 2 weekends in April, and I will also be doing a Welcome to the Theater show with the cast of You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown.